Hello, welcome to another IronCAD video by yours truly over at MagnaCAD. Um, we've been getting a lot of feedback from the evaluation program we have that some of the new users don't really understand how to zoom, how to get really control of their camera settings in IronCAD. And to be quite frank, if you go to the help menu up here, um, and you look at the function key reference chart, it'll give you some of the camera function keys here. All right, middle mouse uh, middle mouse button clicking, how orbit, and 3-button pan. So here's a list of the hotkeys that you can use, but most people have a hard time finding that. So hence why we're doing this little quick video here, show you some of the little quick things they have besides. So we're going to cover all the camera tools. A lot of it's redundant, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows where they are. When you open up IronCAD, the first thing you see down here are your camera tools. You have the fit scene, which basically is like a zoom extents if you're an AutoCAD user. So if you zoomed out and you hit the fit scene, it'll just take whatever you have in your scene and fit it. Also, I'm using a space mouse here, but also, rather than using the fit scene button, there's a shortcut, as usual, is just in the blank area of your scene, just double click your middle mouse button and that'll fit your scene. I happen to have a scroll wheel, so you can double click that as well. Alright, and you can see the scroll wheel, how it works as well. You scroll towards you, it zooms in, scroll away, out. The next button here is your zoom window, which is pretty self-explanatory. You want to zoom into a section, okay, you can. Under that, if you hit the arrow here, you see you get all your various zooming tools that you can use with your left mouse button. So, for instance, pan, right, up, down, left click, orbit, okay. So this is if you're for people who just really want to left click all the time and not have to worry about any hotkeys. Here's all your camera tools. A dolly is kind of zooms in, and then there's something called a walk, which is kind of cool. It's like a dolly that works on two planes in a way. So never really used that one, but that's there. Okay, just keep that to zoom window. The next one's your look at tool, which is nice because if you just take it and you pick, you get this finger icon, and you just click on the face you want to look directly at. It orientates your view to it. Okay. If you click over here, it orientates your view to it there. All right. There's an arrow under here. There's also a target tool, which if you target, it'll rotate around that center point, which is kind of obsolete now because with the new versions of IronCAD, the target tool is built in automatically. So if you just take your mouse and you hover over an edge and use your middle mouse button, and you can use it to rotate, and you could see whatever edge your cursor is over is where you can rotate about. So see how we do that? I'm over at that edge. If I come over here to this edge, okay, so you really don't need that target tool anymore. I'm gonna double click the middle mouse button in the background, zoom fit, okay. Here you have your presets, right, your front, and a lot of people like to use these presets. Like I said, I have a Space Pilot. It makes it, if you can afford the luxury to buy one, I would suggest you strongly do, because it eliminates most of all these tools when you have it. You could zoom in, zoom out, pan, up and down, you name it. So if you can, do it. invested. It's money well spent. We'll skip this one here. This is just for camera tools. We're not going to worry about that right now. This is your perspective on and off here. As you can see, obviously most of the time you want to be, if you're engineering, to have perspective off. If you're rendering, obviously you want it on. You have a preview button here. That's not, we don't have to worry about that. And that's pretty much all your camera tools right here. You can also have a toolbar. If you right click in the blank area up here and go to toolbars, you see you have a couple of camera tools. They're all the same ones in here, but if you're more toolbar orientated, you can kind of dock them here. There is another one here that's called the camera picker. Is your top, front, and right. That's the same as this here. Okay. There is one here though called the camera advance, which is a little funky. If you can see, it's just basically if you left click and hit the arrows, it's kind of tweaking the scene for you. Then there's a perspective. They're really, uh, I'm not a big fan of this because you can do more or less what you want without it. So, but I'm just making a point that you know that it does exist. All right, so you have the toolbars for your camera. You got all your camera toolbars here, functions again. Um, I said, here's your space mouse. If you have the luxury of having one, let's say you don't have a space mouse, then we can resort to your middle mouse button. Okay, and if you hold your middle mouse button and just move it, it's an orbit. Okay, and like I said before, if you go over an edge and use it, it'll rotate about the edge your cursor is over. Okay. Now, if you hold the middle mouse button and use the shift key, now it's a pan tool. Let go of the shift key, we go right into orbit. If you hold the control key, it's a zoom in and out. Okay, we'll go over that one more time. Middle mouse button down, rotating. Middle mouse button down with the shift key is a pan. Middle mouse button down with a control key is a zoom in and out, or what we call a dolly. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. That, well, you know, one more thing I want to do is show you the ability to split your viewports here. So if you split a viewport by right clicking on the background, you can split it horizontally and vertically, and then you can resize it, and then your camera tools work independently in each viewport. And again, you can, let's say, split this view horizontally and say, all right, in this viewport I always want to look at it from the front. In this one, you click in that viewport, I always want to look at it from the top. Okay, I'm going to double click here, and then work in this view. Okay, if you want to remove this and go into one viewport again, you just right click on the one you don't want, say remove, and this asking if you want to save that camera to your scene browser. We'll just say no, and I'll remove this one too. Say no, and we're back to one. Alright, so I hope that sheds a little light on the zooming and camera tools in IronCAD. Of course, if you have any questions, shoot us an email at support@magnacad.com. Alright, have a great day.